I am just feeling a little cramped in here today, but it's all right because we haven't been smoking cigarettes for a full week, and I thought it would be fun to report some of the benefits I've been noticing, and just wow, what a difference 7 days can be on the health if we just chill out. If I just not smoke cigarettes, because I'm 30 years old. I've been smoking since I was 19, and I would say 10 of those years were pack a day, American Spirit Golds for the most part. That was my brand. And I love smoking. I'm going to preface this video by saying that I have a lot of friends that are smokers. I only just recently embarked on a serious journey of wanting to quit. But I also recognize that, we're all on our separate journeys. And if I'm talking about, oh, this is gross or that, I'm not trying to make you feel bad if you are a smoker. I respect that decision. I'm really just talking about my own personal experience. So, that being said, a lot of benefits. The first of which, and this is so significant for me, uh, and that is that my feet would sweat like crazy. And it's actually been a serious issue for the last 5 or 6 years. Shoes would get extremely dank, and there'd be fungus and stuff like that. And for a while, I was like, there was a time, once upon a time, I was working out, and I thought, maybe this is, and I was also going to like a community sauna. I would never talk trash about that sauna. I freaking love it. Shout out to that sauna back home. But yeah, I was like, I didn't know if maybe I picked up like some weird fungus because there's a serious ongoing issue. Sorry, there's going to be some TMI stuff in here, but I'll try and keep it like PG. Anyway, I was concerned, and my feet were, I mean, if it was bad, like sometimes it was really bad. It was like raw hamburger, and it was awful. I was changing socks like all the frickin' time. And it's funny, I actually uploaded a few videos previously. I was getting out of the shower, and you might have noticed I was blow drying my feet. It sounds crazy, right? Well, not only do I like to be like super, super dry, not just towel dry, but like really dry, I'll just kind of like hose down a little bit. But I was specifically targeting my feet because like the heat would sometimes just kind of mitigate, like if I change socks, blah, blah, blah. When I stopped smoking this past week, it just stopped. I'm not even kidding. And like, not just that, they're like healing, like my feet feel healthy, and I might even ask a girlfriend to massage them sometime. Something like that. Whereas it was totally off the table back when. And the thought of even maybe getting a massage down there sounds incredible. Anyway, that's one thing you can really look forward to if you quit smoking cigarettes. Apparently, I've been wearing the patch, and I've kind of incrementally gone down over the last couple of days. Now, I know they recommend like every 2 weeks going down, but I've noticed that if I just take a break, even for a couple of days of just like not doing that, then I pretty much forget about it entirely. And if I'm getting a little bit of like nicotine drip off of this patch, then I can make new associations. So that's been incredible. I also mentioned I'm going to the gym. I signed up for a gym. This place is huge. Excuse me. um, this place is huge. They have trainers. Oh, someone's messaging me. Actually, it's a friend who was congratulating me that I'll just read it because or it's another reply, but proud of you for quitting smoking and working out. Honestly, I can't stress this enough. It I feel like it's fundamentally changing my life in such a new and positive way, which is why I wanted to make this video. But I'm going to the gym now. I am stretching and working out and going to the sauna every single day. And I've got this trainer. He's great. And I'm noticing my endurance is improving. You know, it's been so many months of not going to the gym that I'm starting out with low weight, but I was going really slow, like on my curls, and I just noticed like my breath came back in a way that it was not there previously. It's crazy. Like I've had people tell me that when I'm sleeping, like like they think I'm dead. Like it's crazy, but because like there isn't breath, and I think I've even woken up several times where I just like did one of those, which is really intense. Um, in All right, so there's this joke among smokers like, "Hey, I'm just gonna step out, get some fresh air," but it's so freaking real, because in a sense, like if you're a smoker, you just kind of swap breathing for smoking, and it's so insidious. Um, it's crazy. Uh, because like in a sense you're working out your lungs, right? But it's just like so backwards. So now that like I can't go out and like get my fresh air, I'm actually breathing fresh air, and I'm like, it's making a huge difference. Like yesterday, I was sitting on the couch and I was just watching TV with my buddy, and I was just like, I had my hand like on my chest. I was like, wow, I'm like breathing, like consciously breathing. Um, like no loony, like spiritual, like pseudo, whatever the. Not gonna swear on this episode if I can help it, but no, it was just. I was like, wow, I'm awake and I'm noticing that I'm breathing. Very cool. I almost asked my friend, like, hey, do you just like do you know when you're breathing, or it just goes in and out of your nose like magic? um, so that's great. Uh, so those are some benefits. When I was a smoker, like I've never had dental insurance, not once, and I would always pay out of pocket cash for it. And I would typically go 4 times a year, because it wasn't just like your checkup every 6 months. It was like I would get a checkup and there would be work to be done. So we'd come back and it was like 1 or 2 visits. And every time I got a checkup, I would be doing that. And I'm not going to tell you how many. I mean, I have the bills to prove it. It was an insane amount of money. And not only that, it's like, yeah, they say like, hey, only brush the teeth you want to keep. Well, don't smoke on those teeth either. I mean, my God. As a smoker, I would wake up and first thing in the morning, it didn't matter if it was 6 a.m. or 1 p.m. on that rare occasion. But before a glass of water, I would step out. I'd have 1 or 2 cigarettes. I might go back inside, brew coffee, smoke another 1 or 2 cigarettes, have this shit-eating grin on my face. So happy, right? So privileged to be able to do that. Then I would have my shower. Then I might have a glass of water, um, like at lunch or something. It's ridiculous. And my body was so freaking acidic. I can't stress that enough. So acidic, like gasoline, like toxic waste. And that's another reason why the feet were sweating, because it's like, yeah, your body thinks it's dying. And in a lot of ways, it probably is. I mean, if you're blessed with youth, then you can get away with it for a while. But like I said, I'm 30 years old, so it's time to cut that shit out. And if you don't want to cut it out, great. But I just think once you kind of take that into your 30s, it's a slippery slope. It's probably only going to get worse. If you think about it, it's like every day that I smoke, it's going to make quitting harder. To an extent, because quitting can be so easy once you just identify with what it's doing to your health and your relationships. So, and I do believe in the sacredness of tobacco. I really do. And I also believe in its power to bring people together and kind of alter human consciousness just slightly, to the point where you're like a little high, but who knows, you might be reminiscing with your dad. You might be hanging out with some brothers. over a bachelor weekend. You might be smoking a cigar because you just landed a big deal, massive business deal or something like that. And there's just something sacred about that. Even if you're, maybe you use it to pray or meditate on. I know I've certainly done that, and I've journaled on it, and it's made a huge difference. But I've always been jealous of the people that can do it like once in a blue moon, like preserve that sacredness and just not destroy them in the process. You got to realize that so much of smoking on a regular like pack a day habit is just so psychological and mental. There's a I won't do it justice, but there's a couple of really great quotes in a favorite book of mine, Shantaram. He talks about his days as being a smoker and how he really just wanted to die. And I think on a deep psychological level, that might be true. Certainly not across the board, but I think in many cases for smokers that deep down there's something that they're either suppressing or really trying to suffocate and literally suffocate because you're just collapsing your lungs basically. So I realized that smoking in some ways came from a place of anger, and the anger was feeling like I didn't have a choice, and I felt like I was wronged in some way, and smoking was like in some weird way like taking back my power and saying like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do me. I don't give a shit. There, people say smoking is cool, or I don't know, sometimes you see it in a movie, it looks cool. And it's kind of like in defiance of death in some ways. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going out with a burst of flame, sort of thing. But, I mean, see how far that gets you. I know how far it's gotten me. And I wouldn't take these years back, but I just, maybe I wish I had the strength and the courage to quit sooner. But anyway, yeah, less trips to the dentist, we hope. And the other thing too is I smell better, and I have that sort of confidence. For the people, for those of you that know me, I haven't really been a hugger. But it's not because I wasn't a hugger. It was because I'm a considerate, extremely self-conscious person, and I've always known what cigarettes were doing to me, and it's like I felt like tarnished or something in a way that I didn't, like if I see a beautiful human being, friend or whatever, and want to hug them, it was like, oh, like a part of me thought like they're not gonna like this, or it was a type of isolation. So much of my addiction was rooted in social dynamics. I was just with a friend last night. Actually, we were at the bar, and when it was over, I just really needed a cigarette because it's this crazy reset button, or has been. In a moment of weakness, I like gunned it straight to the 7-Eleven, and I'm going in. I'm like, oh, this is a terrible idea. I've all this progress I've made. Like 5 days are going to be the worst days of anyone trying to quit cigarettes, right? So I'm going in there, and there was 2 lady cashiers, and I was like, do either of you smoke? Like, I don't want a whole pack. I just want to buy 1 cigarette. Neither of them did. And I was like, all right. So I thought for a second, and there were people behind me, and I was like, all right, give me a pack of Gold American Spirits. And just as she was pulling them off the shelf, she had actually typed it into the register. And I was like, nope. And that's actually a true story. I actually I almost ran out of the gas station, because it's like gas stations are just not good places for me, unless it's Carla over at the BP and you're getting coffee. Paradiso blend, then it's okay. Wow, my phone's really blowing up right now. That's okay. We're making a podcast. Anyway, so I run out, and I'm not perfect, okay? There was a person in the parking lot, some dude, and he was he was getting ready to walk into the gas station. I was like, whoa, hold up, brother. Do you smoke cigarettes? Yes, I do. Can I buy one for $1? Just one. He said, sure. So he walked back across the parking lot. This guy was pretty cool. Gave me one. He's like, I know it's not, or he didn't know. He said, like, what did he say? Like, it's not your brand or something. I was like, no, it's actually good that it's not. It was a Camel Crush, by the way. But for all my smokers out there, I lit that thing up, and I was driving home, and I was blasting one of my favorite songs. And the windows were down. It was like, it's Nevada, so it's a bit warmer down here. But I just kind of rolled the windows down, blasting this music, threading through cars, just feeling like a freaking gangster. It's great. It's a great feeling. You guys know how much I love my Toyota Matrix car and how I put 100,000 miles on it. Well, I was doing that in Fairfield. Like, there's not traffic. There's nowhere to actually drive to. Some people know this about me. I would just drive the perimeter of Fairfield. And I'd do this like 3 or 4 times if I ever needed to like go to a job or something like that. First thing in the morning, I'd have my coffee, be listening to music. I'd probably smoke like 4 or 5 cigarettes. Felt like I was in heaven. It's funny to talk about it now. It's like, this is what I need. Honestly, it like helps me get over it. In a sense, I miss it, but if I can just, I don't know, reminisce, that's fun too. But yeah, I mean, if you do the math, I'll just do the math real quick. I mean, 10 years times 365 days, whatever it's like 20, packs of cigarettes in Iowa were about $7.50 a piece. So per year, I was spending about like $27-ish $100 times 10. It's a lot of money. And to think too that if I was investing that money, it'd be a lot more. Like, I think even at a 10% return, which is by most standards like, I mean, like, inflation's like almost as bad. It would have been like 40 grand or something like that. And for most people, that's like a brand new car. It's a down payment on a house. Hell, you could like travel the world, come back, buy a bunch of gold and silver. It's pretty rad. So I'm actually really excited to see what I can do with like this. Like, suddenly I have all this energy. Like, I'm not wasting, whatever it was, like an hour and a half of my day just stepping out every 45 minutes. One, it's courteous to the people I'm hanging out with. I don't have to interrupt or pause the movie every time I want to go out. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, well, having all the energy to, like, suddenly there's just a void that if I dwell on the void, I'm dead in the water. All right, I'm gonna crack. I'm gonna go to the gas station. I'm just gonna buy a pack of cigarettes. But what's keeping this momentum going is I've been like, I went to the gym and it's like, I just use my lungs, I use my muscles, I feel strong. And I came back here and it's like I just spent, I don't know, like an hour and a half like cooking this crazy meal, like steak and vegetables, and the day before that it was like fish and quinoa and mushrooms and bell peppers. And I was just like, I cleaned the whole kitchen and I've just been like really productive. So focusing on that has made all the difference in the world, and that's really great. But yeah, the cost, the monetary cost, oh my God, let me tell you. I mean, cigarettes in Nevada are $10. In New York or California, they are significantly more. What are they, like $13 or $15? And the most I've ever spent for a pack of cigarettes was $25. I shit you not. It was at a Bonnaroo music festival. That's the other thing. If you're a smoker and you go on a long trip or you go to a music festival and there's going to be like a lot of partying going on, I would buy a carton of cigarettes. But if you're like a pack a day person and you're my age or younger, like you don't buy cartons of cigarettes because then you just feel like a total piece of shit. But unless you're going on a road trip or something like that. But I remember running out of cigarettes because at a music festival, everyone wants your cigarettes, including you. And I think per day I was smoking like 2 packs, like a grandma. Anyway, so they were selling packs, but they were $25. Couldn't believe it. And when I bought it, I was just like so happy and relieved. It's like, oh my God. Kind of like under hypnosis, you know? Anyway, this is all to just say that I count my blessings and no one's perfect. I'm not necessarily trying to be, but I'm certainly aiming to just increase my health and really make a change. And I didn't really feel like I could make this change in Fairfield where everything was so familiar. That's the other thing too. You gotta step out of the comfort zone. I say you, but I mean me. You might find relevance in it, but yeah, Fairfield was too familiar, and I had all my spots and my sort of backdoor this and that, and places where I would go and smoke, and it was people knew me as that, and I think quitting in Fairfield would have been like beyond. I mean, it was so beyond that I didn't. And now that I'm in Vegas, and I'll be honest, like I've got a couple of friends out here, but they have lives and they're doing stuff, and I'm still trying to find my way. So I spent a lot of time at home. I've been spending a lot of time at the gym because I just need that structure of doing something, right? I need to get out of the house. I need to make a meal. I need to go to Costco. I need to buy groceries, stuff like that. So, advice to people who might want to quit is just structure your day and don't, like just have your sort of backup things. For me, like having a little bag of treats, if I'm having a craving or something, maybe I'll do a bunch of push-ups, do a few push-ups, eat a snack, and just kind of forget about it. Because that's the thing, like if you have a craving, it goes away in a couple of minutes. So, anyway, I think at this point I'm probably just ranting, but that's a little inside scoop into the life of a smoker and some progress in that regard. I mean, you guys have known me. You guys have known me as a smoker, and I'm excited to introduce you to the new me, which I'm still very much inventing. So, I appreciate your support in this endeavor, and I mean, I'm not saying this is gonna sound all whatever, but it's like I'm not trying to claim like, whoa, suddenly I'm like, advocating for not smoking, and I'm I'm going clean 100%. Like the other day, I said I bummed a fag in the gas station parking lot, and it was pretty awesome. I just don't want to be buying packs every single day, and I think if I keep going, I can just stop altogether. So that's really inspiring. Thanks for supporting me all these years in my journey and discovery process. And I'm stoked for the future. I'm stoked for your future too. And what else do I want to say? I look forward to seeing you in another video real soon. So thanks so much. And hey, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if you would. There's going to be a lot more videos coming out. It always really inspires me to see those numbers go up just a little bit. I'm still trying to break in, baby. So every little ounce of support helps and gets me fired up. So I'm indebted to you. Thanks so much.